Alright everybody, welcome back. We're going to be working on the clutch. So the Indian runs great, drives great, but there's no clutch. I can go through all the gears, no problem, but this thing's probably just been sitting for way too long. So I'm going to go through how to work on this, clean it up, put it back together. I went ahead and took off all the screws. I just have the cover laying over here. And for this operation, you need to put the Kickstarter all the way back because there's this rubber that kind of keeps it from going over. So you need to put that there, put that back on. There's gonna be no way for you to install the Kickstarter with the cover on, with the rubber boot on. Trust me, I've tried. I've seen people do it, but you can really mess up the gearing system here. So the first thing we're gonna do is pop this guy off. So I went ahead and kind of checked this out prior. There's supposed to be some washers on here, but I don't see them. So I'm gonna assume that they're not there. But the washers kind of sit in this crevice here. Anyway, it's not there. The other ones I've taken apart have 2 on them. I've seen in the factory service manual there's 4, so I don't know. This one has 0, so I'm gonna assume someone's been in here. But look how clean it looks. Looks nice. I accidentally dropped all the oil over the floor. Whoopsie daisy. But see, there's this little bolt here that you can twist and it'll drain the oil out. But my cap got stuck in my funnel, and then here we have it. So first things first, this screw here is actually a righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. So very similar to the sister, the Hidaka engine, which looks very similar to the Fuji, but they're not interchangeable. So first things first, I don't know if you can see there's like a crush washer that you can flatten out. And I went ahead already and kind of just used my screwdriver to push it back. And now I'm gonna tighten it to loosen it. I might have to hold this with another wrench, and like as I tighten both at the same time. I've seen people put a flathead in here between the gears, but that can mess up the teeth. So what I'm gonna do is just hit it with a hammer, and hopefully it catches loose. So let me set that up real quick. All right, so we're gonna put a 19mm on here. It's fine. The 3/4. I remember using that. So we run this, runs tight, and it goes the opposite way. It loosens this. So I'm gonna knock it with my hammer right about here. I got it. Yes. Cool. Oh no, I was going the wrong way. No, I'm just kidding. Go. Got that little guy. And then this guy. Just kind of like that. Ooh, looks kind of okay. All right, so to do this job, we're gonna need this guy right here, the pinion gear. So I would not take this off. This is like a oil slinger almost. It goes inside here, and it's like a shaft that has like grooves in it, which slings the oil into these things. So I would just leave it on. You don't want to get confused. It has to go a certain direction, but we're gonna use this. This only goes one direction, of course. So take that guy off, because we're gonna need it when we do the installation. And this is how it grabs on there. Nice. Okay. All right. Let's go put this on the bench. All right, we're back. So what we're gonna do first is remove this guy, and then I'm gonna get my punch, just so I have a mark when I put everything back together. So there seems to be a mark here already, so we'll just go with that. Oh, you know what? Where this ring opening is at, we'll do it. Okay. I'll do that to the... Cool. Just so we can be proficient when we put it all back together. So next, what we want to do, I don't know if you can see, there's a ring here. We got to compress this guy down. So put this guy here. Kind of hard to do sometimes. I think it's easier sideways. Yeah. Okay, it's in. Okay. We're gonna put the tool. So, I mean, you can use a C-clamp, but if you bend any of these rings, because it sits on the shaft of this like gear here, you're gonna have a bad time, and the clutch isn't gonna work once it's bent, because they'll probably get caught up. So I would say invest in this tool. You can use a C-clamp to compress it, but you run the risk of warping the gears, fibrous discs, plates. So you're basically compressing this. So it goes like right here, like so. And then it's flush, as you can see. That thing's crooked. Just gonna, you can hand tighten it. You got it? Okay. So at this point, I mean, I'll just use this guy. Just make my life easier. Okay. So like I can already see the ring kind of poking out now. So I'll get some tools here. Okay. So you can use a screwdriver, but they recommend something kind of small. Okay, we're getting somewhere. There you go. So I'll just put that on the side for a second, and then this ring should just fall out for us. I guess we can just see what happens when we loosen this. I think might help us out. All right, so we had ring. So we got ring, metal disc, There you go. Thank you. Not too bad. Put that guy there. How about that? See, now that ring's exposed. Let's get that ring out. I think we're gonna have to use this guy though. Okay, ring's exposed. Okay. Almost. Let's use our tiny little guy. Where'd I put you at? Here he is. Okay, that worked perfectly. Tiny screwdriver, thank you. There we go. I'll put that right now. So now, I'm gonna take this off. Hopefully it comes out, but I don't know. There might be too much compression on here. There we go. Nice. So put this here. Get this clutch plate. Super stuck together. That's probably our problem. There you go. That's free. Oh yeah. That was our problem. Nope. I don't want to mess up any of these discs. Gotta be careful. There we go. Yeah. Cool, didn't mess it up too bad. All right, so that's probably what our problem was. I'm gonna clean this up, get back to you. All right, so this is the bottom one. I wanna keep this all kind of together, but that was most likely our problem. All right, so let's start by putting this here. So just kind of take these springs out. Just make sure they do their springing stuff. Okay. So I want to kind of just free them up a little bit. Cool. Just real quick, this is a little check. All right, now let's just put a little bit of some oil on there. fits in there. Oops. Okay, so everything's kind of where it should be. And you want to make sure that these grooves from the plate are staying where they need to stay at. Because if they move, then they're just going to get stuck. So you just stay put. Try to be as you want it to stay in the grooves of the splines. And let's see, you want all right, I think that's good. Put this guy in. Just one more for good luck. Okay, that looks perfect. Okay, that looks good. Make sure it's in all those grooves. Perfect. Because then you're going to put the plate on. Let me just make sure it's good. You can see I put the ring in there. And I can't possibly go any further. Okay. So now we'll loosen it up and do the same exact process. Guy goes like that, and then this guy goes like here. And let's put that back where the groove indentation I put. And one on here, but where is it? Here it is. There you go. Okay, now we're gonna do the same exact process. Go. I'll make sure both those discs are lined up. Oops. Okay, now turn that up again. Put the last clip on. That's pretty good. How far can we go? Yeah, I just kind of went to the indentation, I think. So I'm gonna make sure I got that nice and tight so when I put it on there. I can go on that grip, no problem. Okay, that goes in. Almost. Let's put it like right. There you go. That's basically perfect. Just make sure it's in all those grooves. Perfect. And that's how you rebuild the clutch. One of these guys. So I want to make sure. Yeah. I can feel it moving. I'm going to assume that's good. All right. Perfect. All right, let's go install it back on the bike. All right, let's put this bag on. There we go. Nice. Perfect. And then we need the bolt and the washer. And let's get a screwdriver. All right. So we got the washer. The crush washer goes there. There you go. And then we just want to put this to the right. Okay. Let's get our handy dandy 19. And our 3/4. So that's going to be lefty-loosey. Remember, instead of right-tighty. So I don't want to loosen the other one. Just tighten that. Oh shit. Oh, I loosened that one. Whoops. Okay. Well, this guy's tight now. So what we'll do is we'll use a crush washer. Hard manage. Smash that in there. So there we go. All right. Now hopefully let's get an extension on that. Whoops. I was afraid that was going to happen. I don't want to do this. That's probably good enough. Okay. All right, that's fine. All right, now let's put the cover back on. Oh wait, before I forget. So, like I said, there's supposed to be washers on here, like 2 little thin shims, but it doesn't have any. So I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see that. I'm just gonna put that back. So you didn't see that. All right, so now we got everything on. Crush washer, this thing that pushes against it. Okay. Now, worst case, I'll have to do this part again if the gasket is too old, and by splitting it, I could have messed things up. So I'm gonna hope that that didn't happen, but it's not a big deal. I have an extra gasket. I mean, I don't think the book calls for any kind of silicone usage, but that could be a possibility. Very possibility. So I'm using my GIS screwdriver to get this started. Just kind of do this all simultaneously for whatever we have left of a gasket. Kind of equals itself out. Look at this part. I guess I should have took a look to make sure that behind here, inside here where this lever is a small magnet like cylinder, and I probably should have checked that it didn't fall out, but I didn't. So it's gonna tighten that guy. I don't think we have to get the hammer out. Just want to snug these guys up. Don't strip them. Just nice and snug and runny. I'm just questioning this guy. I'm gonna say that's good. All right, so we'll just put some oil in her and call it a day. Hopefully, not too bad down here. Just want to check the gasket. So when I do put oil, I know for a fact it isn't leaking anything. Looks like it's sat back on nice. But who knows? This bolt might need to be changed. But nothing a little silicone can't fix. So I'm gonna let this kind of dry, because I did have some seepage. But let's fill this clutch though. Alright, I got the case back on, and I don't see any leakage. That's just mud. Put some oil in there. Some 30 weight non-detergent oil. And it seems to be holding. So let's put you guys on here and see if we got our clutch to work. So she goes forward without down. We know something's good. All right. Kickstand up. Oops. Okay. Let's put it neutral. Okay, neutral. All right, neutral. Nice. Everything's working just how we want it. So that was a success. All right, clutch works. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And we got a runner with gas prices going up. No oil leakage. No oil leakage. We're good. All right. Like I said, with the gas prices going up, we know that this engine can give us 1.25 gallons, and that should last us at least 100 miles per gallon. So I would say this is a success. And this bike is basically ready to go. Brakes, I might have to put a new tire on the rear, but I think she's ready to go, ready to drive. Maybe make it daily. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.